Hello there, my name is Adrienne Young-Ramsey. Welcome to Blesson number 2, a lesson that is a blessing, coming to you from Central Virginia, where we are going to explore today some of the benefits of homemade chicken soup. Now, we have just finished the holiday season. Actually, we're still in the middle of the 12 days of Christmas, ending with Epiphany on January 6th. But hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, for millennia, the agricultural societies, of which the United States was but 100 years ago, would really celebrate the coming of winter on the solstice on December 21st by slaughtering animals because it was too expensive to feed them through the winter. And by doing this, they ended up with the whole carcasses. Now, in today's world, we've really kind of made it a habit to separate the pieces from the whole, which is, of course, not a holistic view and perhaps not what our creator, whoever that might be, intended. And so I want you to really get a sense of the fact that when you make chicken soup, utilizing the entire chicken is optimal, which is what we've done here. Now, I went ahead and did the dirty work yesterday because you want to give chicken stock a really long time to cook. We actually have chickens, but I have not yet been able to figure out how to butcher one. That is in the future, were it necessary. I know my husband can. But I bought a chicken from Polyface Farms, which is a wonderful, wonderful, completely organic, free-range setup here in Stanton, Virginia. And I also was able, because they're almost $8 a pound for a chicken, I was able to just purchase the neck and the backs for less than $2 a pound. And so that's what I used to make the stock from. Now, ideally, you would use the whole chicken. In fact, in China, the feet of the chicken is the most optimal ingredient to have while making your chicken stock because the feet contain the most gelatin. Bones in general contain huge amounts of nourishing vitamins and nutrients that we are sorely lacking in today's modern diet, simply because we don't process the whole animal and really benefit from that in our day-to-day diet. So we have used bones and necks to make this stock, and then when it cooled down after cooking for about 6 hours, I separated the meat from the bone. Now, after letting it reside within the refrigerator all night, or it could have done just as well out in the cold, honestly, because it's about 30 degrees here, the fat rises to the top. So we're going to skim that off right here, and we'll set it aside. Perfect little addition for our doggy dish, our Great Pyrenees, who's spending lots of time outside with our sheep, so needs these extra calories. And we want to leave a little bit because, of course, that fat is going to impart a lot of flavor. But what's so wonderful is that after you do that work, and of course you're keeping that chicken on the stove all day, which in this cold wintertime weather is adding warmth to your kitchen. But as well, if you've been visiting, traveling, or just had a lot of family and friends over during the holidays, you know it's easy to catch a bug. And there have been a couple people in our home who have done just that. So this chicken stock is really going to nourish, being a warm broth. Of course, anything warm when you're sick is going to help you, but chicken broth especially soothes and eases the mucus lining in the small intestine, which is compromised by a lot of the processed foods that we eat, especially during the holidays. So after you've done this, it's very, very simple to make the most delicious soup, and I'm going to share with you how we do it. First of all, we've got all of our vegetables, which are completely organic, and we're going to simply, as we've already begun sauteing our onions here, which I cut up earlier, a sweet onion, we're going to add our vegetables. And by sauteing them briefly, it is not by any stretch necessary, but I think it just adds a good flavor. So I like to saute them briefly before adding them to our delicious homemade bone broth. You know, it's really interesting as the United States of America has exported so many of these jobs, it's like kind of mimicking what we've done with our food, which is forgetting the holistic picture, forgetting the purpose of the whole animal and all of the different remedies and appetites that we have as human. It's not just about taste. You must nourish as well. And when you export and you break apart, for convenience sake, you really end up losing because not only is the flavor not as wholesome, rich, and ancient, but you also end up shortchanging yourself on the nutrition as well. So we're doing our best to follow a whole foods diet here. And I don't mean the store, although cheers to them. By eating organic at all times in terms of vegetables, unless there are a few that we will purchase that aren't organic, such as onions, a few that can make the grade, but primarily I would say 95% of the vegetables and fruits we eat are organic. We do not eat genetically modified foods in our house, and we raise our own animals. We have had a cow and a pig butchered, as well as we have our own chickens, and that's and lambs, our own lambs butchered, and those are the foods that we eat on and serve our family. We also are very fortunate to have a cow share, and so we have raw milk every week. Now, I've just added carrots. I'm cutting up the parsnips, and quick as a wink, these vegetables are just going to do just a little searing so that we can bring out some nice flavors to impart within our soup. I mean, how fast is this here? If you think I don't have time for that, it's really just so simple. And a lot of people cut garlic. I like to crush it because supposedly when you crush the garlic, somehow that releases the natural oils and gives you the most medicinal benefit from that garlic, which of course onions, herbs, and garlic are all going to increase your healthy bacteria, which you can also do through acidophilus and of course fermented lacto beverages, but nothing wrong with just some nice fresh garlic. So now we've got all this in our beautiful cast iron skillet, and we're saving our secret ingredient for last. That's our parsley. Not only is there a tremendous amount of vitamin C in parsley, it's also, as you may well know, wonderful for fresh breath. If you're at a party or at a restaurant and you've been eating a lot of garlic, if there's a sprig of parsley on your plate, eat that parsley and it'll freshen your breath right up. Now, we're going to finish sauteing these vegetables, and then we're going to add that to our soup. We'll let that cook for maybe an hour. We're going to put a couple spoonfuls of this bouillon because even though this is packed with nutrients, I don't want to overdo the salt. And so I'm going to use this wonderful bouillon that my family uses. It's organic, better than bouillon, wonderful product, delicious. And when that is close to being done, we will add our elbow macaroni, brown rice pasta, and then about 5 minutes before we take it off the stove, we'll chop up the parsley and put that in there, and that will just release that fresh herb, give it a great flavor, and of course pack it with a powerful vitamin C punch. So that is it for today. We're going to do our best to come to you every day. We are here in Wingina, Virginia. We have a little one who sometimes makes it difficult to film things. So hopefully we will be with you January 3rd. That's tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. And drop by our Facebook page. Let us know about your favorite chicken soup, homemade, home remedy recipes. Thank you very much.